Welcome to Entrepreneurial Insights, a podcast brought to you by the Society of Entrepreneurs and hosted by Pearson Crutcher and Jay Healy. The Society of Entrepreneurs is a membership organization founded to promote entrepreneurship and provide education and resources to Memphis business owners.
In this podcast, we'll have a series of interviews with accomplished business owners and entrepreneurs in Memphis, Tennessee. There are so many great entrepreneurs in Memphis, and their stories need to be told.
Welcome to Entrepreneurial Insights.
I feel like I kind of grew up with Robert, whether he knows it or not. My father was on the board of Enterprise National Bank when Robert was there as the chief financial officer, then the CEO. And so I kind of watched Paragon getting born and growing up. So congratulations. So what year was that?
2005.
2005. Well, 20th anniversary. Very cool. So I'm very excited. One of the things I also really think about when I do think about Paragon, and I mentioned this before, is the way they take care of their employees, but more the way they give back to the community. Robert has never told me no. That is a plug so that I can ask him again and again to sponsor this. But also, I think that the things that they do that engages their employees to give back to the community and their willingness to let them take the time from work to do that. I've vivid memories of doing the Disney Princess Make-A-Wish coming that he had, my daughter actually came and she needed to do service hours and they came and worked with Paragon to do that. And she still talks about that now and she's 27 years old. So thank you for that and for that experience and for what you do for the community. And I can't wait to hear what you have to say about how you build success by giving back. Thank you so much, Robert.
Thanks. There are a lot of Paragon team members here in the room, and I think they're here to correct me when I make mistakes. So y'all just go right ahead and go, no, Robert, that's wrong. So thank y'all for being at Paragon Bank. We call this our Chevron Suite. The chevron's in our logo, and you'll see through this presentation that we use this room a lot for a lot of different things. So this is a really long title of what I'm supposed to speak about, but I'm going to talk a lot about, what we do in the community and what we do with our employees. A little bit about Paragon. We are a regional community bank headquartered here in Memphis in this building. We were founded January 19th, 2005, so Sunday makes 20 years.
Oh, wow, that's so cool.
Crazy? Yeah, amazing.
Wow, perfect.
At September 30th, and I'm going to cheat a little bit and give a little bit more additional financial information in a second, but I'm looking at Lewis Perkins, who's our CFO, and he's like, no, you got to be careful because everything is not completely closed yet. So we have 8 banking centers and 1 loan and deposit production office in 6 different markets in the southeast part of the United States, and I'll show you a little bit about that. And right now we have 124 in total employees located in 9 states, so we're fairly spread out. These are our core values, integrity, dedication, and knowledge. You'll see them right there on the wall. Maureen, I'm sure you did this. But that's up there as a reminder of our core values. And then I want to talk a little bit about our mission. First is attracting, developing, entertaining, high-performing, team-building professionals. Building loyal customer relationships that exceed customers' expectations. Creating exceptional value for our shareholders, and being actively engaged in our community. And really, the first 3, if you're a follower of FedEx, what was people, service, profits, or something that line. So it's pretty similar to what we do. On purpose, the number one thing is our people and our team. And our business philosophy is that you take care of your employees. They build the loyal customer relationships, and that creates the value for our shareholders. And then as a community bank, we reinvest in our communities. I want to talk a little bit about culture, our culture here. This is a commitment that all of our team members make. It's in our employee handbook, and it's a commitment that we take very seriously. It's to treat everyone with dignity and respect, communicate openly, embrace diversity, act with honesty and integrity, empower employees to make decisions, equip employees with resources needed to accomplish their job, promote continuous improvement and reward excellence, provide appropriate training and development, hold each employee accountable for his or her performance, provide a pleasant and stimulating physical environment, act professionally in all that we say and do, lead by example, and have fun and work hard. That is our core commitment that we make to each other. One thing about us that's a little bit different is that we are employee owners. You can see 100% of the Paragon team members that have been employed at Paragon for 12 months own a piece of Paragon. We provide several ways that team members can become shareholders, and I'll talk about the retirement plans in a second. One of the things we do is we have an employee stock purchase plan, and for employees that don't have brokerage accounts, we withhold money that they want us to withhold and then go out to the market and buy shares for them. We have a lady that's been here for several years that has 20,000 shares in Paragon because she's done that for a really long time. So she's made a significant investment and she's got some significant profit in what she's done. The other thing, the biggest other way to get employee ownership is through our KSOP. The KSOP is a combination of a 401k and an ESOP, and so it's a KSOP. We match 401k contributions in Paragon stock, and then we make a contribution to our ESOP in Paragon stock. So that has caused us to have a great deal of ownership. Paragon and our team members and our families own 30% of Paragon. There are some privately held banks in town, but I'm not sure of any other, like us that have that kind of a spread of ownership with our employees. But it makes employees want to do a good job and care about doing a good job because it's helping themselves and helping the bank. Building community is one of the things we work on. We refer to ourselves as the Paragon family. It's not unusual to introduce somebody new to the team, and people say, welcome to the family. And we kind of function that way in a lot of ways. This is probably our number one way that we communicate together. We have monthly employee breakfasts, primarily in this room. You can see this room gets switched around all the time. But we have 60 or so here in this room, and then these are the people in our outlying locations. Top left is Atlanta, middle is Nashville, then there's Wilmington, North Carolina, Oxford, Mississippi, and then a lot of places where people are just work by themselves. They're part of the Paragon team. So once a month, 7:30 in the morning, we have breakfast. We've been doing that actually since the day we were founded. In those breakfasts, we always start meetings with prayer. We introduce new team members. We do education on new products and services. We update the team on upcoming events and community service opportunities. We have customer service videos, and then we highlight outstanding customer service, and I'll talk about that in a few minutes. We do a slideshow of our prior quarter activities, and with everybody in every market, we do show that together. And then together, we look at our monthly bank-wide financial results. Lewis Perkins leads that effort, but we do this together where everybody knows where we are, and we talk about contributions that people make to the team and to our financials. Other kind of standard communications, except maybe not the first one, every employee in the bank receives what we call a daily statement every day, and it's a daily balance sheet. And so it lets everybody know what size we are, how many loans we have, or the balance of our loans and our deposits. If a loan officer makes a loan, they may see the loans increase because of their efforts the day before. Same thing on the deposit sides. And then we do quarterly staff meetings, monthly senior management lunches and executive management meetings. Oops, I just did something wrong there. There's a lot of other things that we do together, and I've noticed when I look at this, a lot of it revolves around food. And this is two instances. We've done a Memorial Day cookout since 2004, before we actually started the bank. And now we have somebody that helps us with the cooking. And then Thanksgiving potluck. You can see the Thanksgiving potluck. One of them is in this room, but we do Thanksgiving potluck in all of our markets on the same day. This is probably my favorite day of the year. We bring everybody to Memphis once a year. And it's not a small expense, but it's part of us building the community. The only people that can't come are we have to keep the branches open in other markets, so we have to leave a few people. But in this picture, there are employees from 9 states. So everybody comes. One of the things that's important to me is I can see that there's not a pocket of Atlanta over here and a pocket of Wilmington over there, but we work together as a team. We deal with each other every day, and there's really close relationships. And we've taken them That's the second story, the top floor of the Rendezvous. But we've been to Stax and to Graceland, to Sun Studios, to the roof of the Madison Hotel, and it was that. So we try to show off Memphis's assets when we have them all in town. It's a really fun time. I call this Paragon Perks, and there's actually something with that name in a second, but these are things that we do extra for the employees. We do really 4 employee appreciation weeks during the year. We do an employee appreciation week in each of our markets, where we have some markets where we don't have as many people, but these are the 4 major markets. This is an example of what we do and did in Memphis, and once again, if you look, most of it has to do with food. And then we have an outing. In this particular case, last year the team in Memphis went bowling, but several folks from Memphis go to each of those markets as we are expressing our appreciation to the employees. These are some pictures from employee appreciation. There's the pancakes. Tracy's in the back helping cook pancakes in Memphis. Wendy's there has got a bag. Every employee gets a letter from me thanking them for their service and some kind of giveaway, and then the schedule. There's cupcakes in Oxford. This is the massages we do in all the markets. There's our team in Atlanta after bowling, and there's our team in Wilmington at the Wrightsville Beach Brewery. So we spend a lot of time trying to make sure that we're all on the same team. In this room, last year we did 3 lunch and learns for our employees, so we were paying for lunch. But then this one was the nuts and bolts of a 401k, so employees understand the importance of saving for retirement. Cybersecurity was number 2, and then situational awareness was a security demonstration and talk to help people be more safe. So those we do in this room. Then we have AED machines, automated exterior defibrillator, something along those lines. There's one in the hall here, but we have those in all of our facilities, and did a lot of CPR training last year to make sure everybody knows how to use those machines. That's Oxford on the right, us here, and then on the left is some of our Wilmington folks. We do an annual wellness day, and let me say a lot of these events occur because of the 2 ladies sitting on the back left over here. Pat Thompson is our human resources manager, and Tracy Strickland is our marketing manager. And between the 2 of them, events and HR type things happen. And the annual wellness day is one of Pat's projects, and we have vendors come in and talk to employees about making wise health choices. We have a women's resource group. So it's a group of women that are in the bank. It's a volunteer. Anybody can be in the meeting. But they do a couple of things, events. One is the annual swap and shop. And it was in this room. It really happens on a Saturday, not during a weekday. But and I've never been, but it just but there's a lot of accessories and things that they all share and exchange. So it's a deal. You can tell they're having a great time doing that. And then we have a holiday pop-up shop, and again in this room, and then some of the other rest of the building. So these don't cost Paragon any money. These are things. This one, like I said, is on Saturday. This is vendors coming in. We don't pay for those kind of things, but it's things that add value to the employees, things that they appreciate. Same thing with these 3 things. We have in this building, on the second floor, we have on-site dry cleaning, pickup, and delivery just to add a convenience for our employees. Again, so they're paying for the laundry. We just allow it to happen here and coordinate it so that it's convenient for them. On the right side, I think at 8:30 tomorrow morning, we'll have somebody here detailing cars, but that'll be at the employee's expense. We're just arranging it, making it convenient for busy working people. And in the middle is actually the program we call Paragon Perks, and that is a way that employees get discounts on travel and other purchases, food, those kind of things. So those are a lot of things that we do for our employees. Another thing we do for them is trying to recognize the contributions that they're making to the bank. Probably one of the key items is Team Member of the Quarter and Team Member of the Year. On the left, that's Nancy Walsh. She was Team Member of the Quarter. That is voted on by her peers. That's not decided in management. It's decided by peers, and they vote, and then we determine who the winner is. And so the quarterly person gets a $250 check, and then the annual Team Member of the Year gets $500. That's Scott Penny. He lives in St. Augustine, Florida, and he was Employee or Team Member of the Year. He does a fantastic job. You'll see his name pop up again. But it's a chance to recognize those people, going above and beyond, doing a great job. We send a customer service survey out to all of our customers twice a year, and then they're available in all of our locations so they can be obtained. All of those customer service surveys come back to me, and I respond to every one of those surveys that comes in. And if there is a problem, I get with whoever the relationship manager is that handles that, and we work together to figure out what the solution is. Now, if it's because they just want a higher interest rate, that's probably not going to happen. But if there's something that we can do to help with the problem, we want to recognize it and correct it. These are, and it's very rewarding to me because these are some of the comments that we've gotten back. The top left, Ms. Davis took the time to talk to me about building my credit, my career path, and was all around attentive and delightful to interact with. She made me feel very welcoming opening a new account. That's Helene Davis in Oxford that did that. Middle, Mr. Harris is the most professional, kind, knowledgeable, sincere, best person we've ever worked with at any bank. Kenny Harris is in our Atlanta branch. Over here, we wanted to say how fantastic your employees are at the Laurelwood branch. They're always friendly and professional, and I look forward to my visits. Bottom left, I just wanted to drop a note about how much I really love banking with Paragon. My family and I have been banking at Paragon for several years now and have come to love the small bank personal feel we receive. I exclusively bank at the Paragon Poplar Massey location because of a couple of employees who have been super helpful throughout the years. And then the last one is actually from Tracy Strickland. We read these comments at the breakfast, so we recognize team member and annual team member, but then we recognize outstanding customer service. And this is an email, and actually Tracy Strickland wrote, she says, I need to brag about Scott Penny. As we are all aware, he is everyone's go-to person for online and mobile banking assistance, both our team and all our customers. But when we launched Banno, which is our new internet banking solution this week, I got a deeper appreciation of his knowledge and experience in service he provides our customers. So again, we read these in our employee breakfast so that people are recognized for the efforts that they're putting out. Now, let me talk about our commitment to the communities. We have a program called ACTS. We've had that program since before the bank opened. So it's assisting the community through service, and we pay every employee 40 hours to work in the community. So they take it off and go work in whatever nonprofit that they have a passion for. And I love for there to be a passion that they have for the nonprofit. But especially when we were new, we couldn't afford all those charitable contributions and stuff. But this was a way from the very beginning for us to give back to the community. We track through our payroll system the number of ACTS hours. We've done over 17,000 ACTS hours since 2008. And again, we started really when the bank started. So you can tell COVID was kind of hard on getting out, so you can tell that's exactly what happened those 2 years. But it's important to us that we are able to do this in our communities. It's part about being a community bank. These are the numbers for 2023. 2024 has not been put together yet, but in 2023, we impacted 80 organizations in all 4 of our markets, so it was up 31% from the year before. 93.4% of the team members participated in the nonprofit world. We did 2,339 hours, which was up 29% from 2022. And then the average team member spent 23.6 hours in the community. So those are important to us to be in our communities and to give back. The good news is it also does the other thing. It also is things that our employees find fun and enjoyable. So it really has a two-purpose event. So this is our wish. Pearson talked about a wish. This was our 19th wish last year. So we'll do our 20th wish on our 20th year this year. That'll be our plan. So we've done one every year. This was Macy in the T-shirt on the right of the sign that wanted to go trail riding in Montana. We have a picture of her trail riding with her family. So you can tell there's a lot of people involved with the wish. We have some really amazing creative people here that put together awesome props and things for the wishes, and it becomes a group fun activity. This is our team in Atlanta. Since 2015, we have worked on either a rehab or a new home, Habitat for Humanity. And so that is a really fun event for us to do. We go over and have dinner with the Atlanta team the night before, and then we go work on a house. So some of these people this year had to put insulation under the house. It was a pretty tough job, but I was not one of those, thank goodness. This is some of our team in Oxford. There's a program down there called More Than a Meal. We've done that for a few years. They serve somewhere between 75 and 125 food insecure people. And so the bank comes in, buys the food, goes to the venue, and then serves the meal. So that's usually it's a Tuesday night event that we do. So that's been a good one for us to do as a team. This is our team in Wilmington. They have a good time with this tricycle race for United Way. I'll show you. They broke the trike. Look. See this? Needless to say, we did not come in first. But they have a good time with the trike race. I was not there this year, but I was there the year before, and it was really fun for them to do that for United Way. This is our team at Binghamton Christian Academy here in town. They do Family Day. And so that's a school-wide event. Although we're working with the 7th grade right now. I'm looking at Tracy Strickland. Tracy was with another bank before, and she started with this group when they were pre-K, and they're 7th graders this year. So they're Tracy's kids. So it's a good event. Neighborhood Christian Center, in the spring, they do a virtual spring break for those kids who cannot afford to go on spring break. So they decorate the Neighborhood Christian Center like a country. Well, it could be Argentina, but it's very, very extensive, and it is really fun to do. And we go and help prep for Spring Jam every year. And then this is our annual day of service. So in the fall, on a Saturday, we meet here, and we've done this since 2017, and we pack meals for the homeless that Catholic Charities hands out in downtown Memphis. We've done over the years 12,500 meal packs and 12,500 hygiene kits for the homeless. And you can see the food is kind of spread around the outside, and we were getting ready to pack those bags and get them for Catholic Charities to hand out downtown. We also encourage our team members to be involved with a lot of individual efforts, either as a coach or as a member of a nonprofit board. We've had a lot of people that have chaired different groups here in town. We've had president of Junior League, president of the Phoenix Club. We've got a treasurer of the Memphis Child Advocacy Center right now, and then we promote coaching too. So we try to encourage people to be involved with the community in a lot of different ways. This is a little bit of a timeline. We presented a little bit of this in our shareholders meeting, and it talks about the steps we've taken over the last few years, and we call it groundwork for growth. And so it talks a little bit about the changes that Paragon has made. And you'll see a chart in a little bit. We were very, very active, and it says 2021 groundwork timeline. But in 2020 and 2021, who would think, but it caused us to grow a lot because of the Paycheck Protection Program. We made over 1,200 PPP loans and had over $136 million in loans out to banks, many of which were desperate because of COVID. So that started kind of us in a growth trajectory. In October of 2021, we received permission from the FDIC to take our SBA offices in Atlanta and to turn those into a branch. We had an office in Brookhaven, Georgia at that point. So we were starting to look at retail banking there in Atlanta. And then in November of 2021, we had a commercial lending team and a mortgage team in Wilmington, North Carolina join us. There was a common known people between that group and our group, and we were very privileged to have that group join us in November. 2021 was kind of a tumultuous year in banking, both in Memphis and Atlanta, and we had several key people join our team. A few are here in this room, but 4 of those people that joined us in 2021 are now part of our senior management team. And so it was nice to be able to add that talent to our team in 2021. In 2022, the retail team in Wilmington joined us, so we had our full team there. In June, we had a mortgage lender and our first retail employee in our Atlanta offices join us. And then we also added some people to our lending teams in Oxford and Memphis in 2022. In 2023, we did the grand opening of our Wilmington, North Carolina Banking Center. That's the building we're in Wilmington. And then we, in April, established a capital markets division, which pools SBA loans and sells them as a security. It's kind of an unusual thing for a community bank to do. Andy Taylor heads up that effort. And then we started adding team in Oxford, and then our SBA team moved from our old location into Buckhead. And then we opened for business while we were still renovating in Buckhead for a retail, for a branch in Atlanta. In August, we had our traditional banking team join Atlanta. So we have a commercial lending, a private banker, the mortgage lender I've already talked about. So we had an SBA team since 2014. Now we had a full-fledged bank in Atlanta. September, the Oxford team moved into the new banking center, and then we did a grand opening in Oxford in October of 2023. That's our new branch, newish branch in Oxford. So we have full service down there. In 2024, we added a team in Jackson, Tennessee. Then in February, we did our grand opening. That's our Atlanta banking center. Then we opened a temporary loan production and deposit operation in Atlanta. And then in August, we hired, in April, we hired a team in Nashville and opened a temporary office in August of 2024. So you can see from 2020 to 2024, there's been a lot going on. We've had a lot of activities, a lot of expansion. So this is the way our footprint looks now. We're in Memphis, and you can see Jackson, Nashville, Wilmington, Atlanta, and Oxford. And you can see these are population numbers from 2010 to 2020, and you can see the kind of population growth in the markets where we have gone. And so there's a lot of opportunity for us to grow the franchise in those particular markets. From a 21% growth in Nashville, 18 in Wilmington, 15 in Atlanta, 15 in Oxford. And then Jackson, we know, is on the edge of Blue Oval, so we think that the growth is going to be in Jackson too. So we've definitely, like I said, expanded our footprint over the last 4 years. What's important is the results, right? I mean, we're taking care of employees, we're doing these things in community, but we need to be able to prove that it makes sense to do that from a business standpoint. And so I thought we'd look at some results. This is one of the results. We know we have happy employees. We have been for the last 7 years. Our industry publication every day is called The American Banker, and we've been rated as best bank to work for the last 7 years, top workplace for the commercial appeal for the last 7 years, and the Memphis Business Journal, best places to work for the last 7 years. So that's telling us that our employees, these decisions are made based on confidential surveys. We don't preach that. We don't. We ask people to fill them out, but we don't tell people how to answer those, and it's important that they don't do that. And then in a lot of cases, especially best banks, then our HR department fills out a very long questionnaire about our benefits and the other things we do with our employees. And so very proud to have, I call it the trifecta, to have all three recognitions for the last 7 years. In 2024, we were ranked as the number 9 bank in the United States to work for, best bank to work for. So we're very proud of that, to be top 10. There were 90 banks recognized, and then there are some that are not, that don't make the 90 banks. So it's a large list of banks that are working to be recognized. This is our team culture recognition historically, and then we've been doing best places with the Memphis Business Journal since we started. We started in 2018 with American Banker, and then we started in 2016 with the Commercial Appeal. But we take a lot of pride in this, and what it does is it helps us add to our team, right? I remember having the first conversation I had with the people in Wilmington. They were sitting in a car in Wilmington, and 3 or 4 of us were in an office in Memphis, and we said that year we were number 5 in the United States as far as best banks go, and that just helps them understand that we try to take care of our employees. Another thing that, besides attracting employees and having happy employees, is what it does with retention. This was at the rendezvous at our annual get-together, and we recognize anniversary. These are our 3 5-year employees. Samaya, who's standing next to me, lives in New Jersey. Greg on the right lives in Eufaula, Alabama, and then Eric in the middle is from Memphis. These are our 10-year team members. 5 of those are the original team that we hired in Atlanta that did our SBA group, and then so we have a nice group of 10-year employees. This is our 15-year employee who's sitting in the back of the room. Y'all may remember 15 years ago, we were at the end of a Great Recession, and the only employee we hired apparently was the credit guy that we needed, right? So that's the reason there's not a lot of 15. And then this is our 20-year employees. So we have this group. There was one person on the 20-year that was not able to be there. And we had 6 that retired and left us. I don't like this retirement thing, but we have a lot of employee continuity here, a lot of people that stay for a long time. This is, I talked about attracting, this is what I call revenue producers. These are relationship managers, which are your loan officers, the people that are dealing with customers, and mortgage consultants. So, and you can see that we've almost doubled the number of revenue producers since 2014, and that's hopefully been a reflection on the environment, the work environment that we have here. This is, and I think the title of the presentation was to talk about community and employee engagement and growth, and so you can tell what happened. We've had very steady growth. We've doubled the size of the bank since 2019. This is one of those numbers that I snuck in. I said, all right, Lewis, I'm going to put, we think we finished 2024 at about $870 million. So like I said, we've more than doubled with really, really strong growth with adding all the team members. And so it's been very good. This is the one that matters the most. This is a slide from our 2023 shareholders meeting, and you can see these two years right here. This is core income, so it's excluding the PPP income, which is the income from those loans we made. And the PPP income was right here, and this was the PPP time. But you can see that we've continued to grow core earnings while we had all these initiatives going on. So in 2023, we had our first full year in Wilmington. We hired the conventional team in Atlanta. We completed our team in the banking center in Oxford and started that new division, and still had record profits for us, $3.9 million. And all I can tell you is that we're going to have to expand the graph, which I did here for the 24 numbers. I can't tell you what those numbers are, but they're good. And so we made a lot of progress in 2024, and I look forward to being able to announce what those are. So I thought I would just go back to, here's our mission, to attract, develop, retain high-performing team-building professionals, build the loyal customer relationships, create value for our shareholders, and be actively engaged in our community. That's it. Thanks.
Does anybody have any questions for Robert? I don't know about y'all, but I kind of want to work for Paragon. I don't know. It sounds like a pretty good place. But I do think it's so important. And I think some of the things that you've talked about, that it always hits me when I'm talking to a society member or somebody like Robert, it doesn't cost a lot of money to take good care of your employees. So I really, really appreciate what you've done and what you do in the city. So nobody has any other questions or anything, huh? Oh, okay, go ahead, Phil. Mm-hmm.
So I think that great presentation.
Thank you.
Thinking about the number of volunteer hours that you guys had, that's a 29% growth is remarkable. What are you looking at growing for this year?
I think it'll be higher now. We're adding to the team. That helps me, right? So,
and I got a partner for you too.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm working on some community development stuff right now, and we've got teams in Atlanta and Memphis that are both doing junior achievement. So, awesome. Yeah, it's definitely a thing. It's a thing that we think we can. It gets us credit with regulators in addition to being the right thing to do. So it's good.
I love it.
I was really taken aback. We literally just spoke about in a meeting about how we encourage more employers, your 40 hours a year of paid leave, and how we create that culturally and make that endemic to businesses across Memphis. Because particularly for our parents that are hourly workers, that are different workers, creating a capacity, because all parents want to be able to volunteer with their children. And so I would just really challenge you how we get you out more in the community to talk about that. because I think it should be more a part of the culture, because that 40 hours, that's the first time. I'd be curious to see how many other companies in Memphis give anything even remotely close to that.
Well,
Congratulations. I mean, that is just, as a nonprofit leader, that is incredible.
well, thank you. Again, it was a way when we started because we didn't have, the resources just to be, but I love to find people that have passion for organizations because, and a lot of times they end up being, in leadership in that organization on a board seat and those kind of things. So I watch for that and look and see because I think it's awesome. I mean, our junior achievement's great, but we also love putting people that have home problems, and housing, and then food. Housing and food are really important. So.
Yeah, I did the calculation. The federal government puts those hours at $31 an hour. That's a $71,000 gift.
That's cool.
And over $500,000 over the lifespan of the bank, over the number of hours that you've done.
Well, that's nice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good.
Yes.
Cool.
Go ahead, Maureen.
I just wanted to say that I started my business in 2005 too, and I was going through my binder the other day, and Paragon was the very first check that I
that's awesome.
received.
That's
And
good.
so I asked if I could have the check afterwards,
Okay.
and so I have it in that book.
Well, that's awesome. Good. I'm glad
Yeah,
we
thank you.
worked together. I know you did the sign up here. So yeah, it's cool. Yeah, absolutely.
Robert, do y'all do anything for people that work here that if they don't, if they want to do something but they don't necessarily know what organizations need help and stuff, do you do any kind of thing
Yes.
to educate them on?
Yes, we do. At Employee Breakfast, Tracy does a presentation and talks about the opportunities that are out there, and so we encourage that way. And then we'll do lunch and learns with nonprofits if they want to come in, and we will introduce what they're doing. And again, looking for that passion, somebody that says, "Oh, that's my thing," and that happens a pretty good bit to do that.
Very cool. Very good.
How do we get on that list?
Oh, that's cool. We'll have to talk about and see. That's good.
Very cool. Thank you so
All right,
much,
thanks.
Robert. I really, really appreciate this. We are lucky to have banks like you in Memphis, so thank you very much. The next meeting is on February the 20th. Daphne Large is going to be speaking for us. Daphne owns DataFax. I can't remember what the title is of what she's speaking about, but Daphne, I have never been in a room with somebody like Daphne that has more little jewels, nuggets of wisdom. I mean, she's got every single good nugget in her mind. So I promise you this, you will go away with some good information. It's the meeting that we do with the Small Business Council of the Chamber. So it will be at Baptist Hospital. I, of course, will be sending you emails, and they will be in Central Time, not Pacific Time, when I tell you the time for the meetings. And then in March, we are going to be back in this very room on March the 20th. And Shannon's going to be speaking about social media, which is something that we all need to know more about. So I hope to see you guys in February. And thank you again, Robert. This was wonderful.
Thanks.